Oh, goodness gracious. Of course I would be sleepy at a time like this. Hey folks, Seraph here, and I yap, therefore I muse. Today I didn't really feel like playing any kind of game in the background, but felt like I really wanted to test out some changes I made to my microphone settings to hopefully test it out and have a little bit of less staticky feedback here and there. So I've decided, well, I don't feel like playing anything tonight. So how about I just do a little bit of art practice busy work on camera and chit-chat for a little bit. I guess maybe this time around, this video's yapping video can probably be centered a bit more about what I was trying to talk about in my last two videos of BUUUUUT no Yukarin. And that being... things are going well with me trying to learn art and do a little bit of practice in that one. Me trying to just thoughtfully practice on some of my free time. Whether one believes it or not, I honestly am very, very inexperienced with... I'm a pencil... I think I've said it before in my recent videos, in video game related stuff, but I'm gonna say it here as well for those of you who happen to have stumbled your way on here for some reason. I'm so sorry. Don't know anything about me, but I am more familiar with pencil and paper type art, so digital is a very, very different space for me, if I might be honest. As a result, trying to adjust to it has been quite the challenge for me, yet so far I feel like I have been getting a little bit better with it, but as you could see, my pen strokes and my control over these things could probably use a little more work. One thing at a time though, huh? One thing at a time. Let's see, shoulder would be right about there. So I hope you guys don't mind that I just do a little bit of chit-chatting in this day's yapping video over here, and just do some art in the background. Also, I'll leave the credits to the song and what it is in the description, for those who may or may not have watched my particular streams where I actually have played that game. This is a song from the Toho indie game, Hero of Iceberry. And, you know, it had enough of those, what's the word I'm looking for? It had enough of those, what's this word I'm looking for? Lo-fi kind of vibes that I like. Usually I listen to some kind of jazz music while I'm singing art and trying to practice, well, fundamentals that I'm kind of lacking. I'm just getting used to the digital side of art in general. For those who may or may not have perhaps watched my regular content, if you happen to be new over here, I am trying to break out of this old art mentality that, you know, all I'm ever good at is portraits, so I only ever do portraits. In the past month or two, I've been feeling a very, very strong tug to, and motivation, to actually want to really, really learn to improve my art again. So ever since then, I've been playing a fair bit of less video games and more into... it's round about here? No, it would have been round about here, wouldn't it? I've been playing less video games and doing a little bit more art practice on the side lately, which slightly depresses me a little bit, but I've been having a lot of fun rekindling, just getting used to, well, practicing art again. So, here I am, one of those nights where I'm like, well, I really, really need to test out this microphone filter setting adjustment for OBS, but I don't feel like playing any video games because I feel like drawing, so here I am. You guys get to put up with me and my slow attempts at, what's the word? My slow attempts at just digesting and practicing things that I've been trying to practice over and over again. For those of you who may not recognize it or may wonder, the reference model that I'm using right now is from a very nifty little program that I bought on sale way 1 or 2 years ago, maybe, when I bought my tablet. Just a very basic tablet. And that is Easy Pose, if you ever look it up on Steam. Maybe if you happen to be curious about it, I'll leave the Steam link to that as well. For people who may be curious where I'm getting my practice models for just daily practice on drawing. Because it's been a very big help for me. I am only good at portrait drawings, just up to like, if I zoom in here. Like if this were me maybe about a couple of years ago, I would probably only go as high as here, give or take, for drawing. And that probably, and of course draw big, and that probably would have been good enough for me. But I'm not trying to do the same thing. I'm trying to break out of my mental blocks and my more of the same habit. So here I am. Slowly but surely trying to kind of get over that. Honestly, it's been fun. And these times where I just sit down, just practice draw a little bit, play some jazz music in the background or some lo-fi, has honestly been... I know I tend to sound very, very silly and happy-go-lucky, but if I might be honest, these drawing sessions and just a little bit a day, every other day or so, has been modestly therapeutic for me. You need to have a hobby to honestly help yourself unwind, if I might be frank, but everybody knows this by now. It's good to have a hobby. It keeps you out of trouble, as my old man would say. Yeah, no, that was an age-old lesson my old man always used to say. It keeps you out of trouble. So I'd rather you have a hobby. A lot of things, I hope you don't mind, but I feel like there's not going to be any particular... Ooh, wow. Ooh, that's terrible. my lines for sketch layers is ass. That's what these practices are for. But in any case, this is probably not going to be any one particular topic video for this Yap video. I'm sorry. Sure, it'll primarily be around art, but I'm having one of those nights where I just want to sit around, think and muse for a little while, so I guess here I am. So pardon me if the topic jumps around a fair bit and all you're doing is listening to me yap needlessly. Thank you for sitting around to listen if you happen to feel like you have a little bit of time and wanted to sit and listen. I appreciate it. But don't feel obligated to either. This is a time passer for me. So the torso would have been... Oh, now that I think about it. Oh, I went a bit too early. You know what? I don't care for the overlap lines. So it would have been here. This is like her stomach. Waist, I guess. It's easier to say waist. Waist and then hips. I'm not worried about overlapping lines on a sketch layer. That's fine. As long as I get the idea for the shape as I'm punching through this, then I'm okay with it. Gotta practice fundamentals and understanding of the body's anatomy shapes, or at least basic versions of it, that make up the body, before I can even think of doing anything else. But, yeah. Sorry. That's just what, today's, videos, yeah, is just gonna be about. It's just gonna be topics all over the place, so pardon me if you were expecting a one-track-minded kind of yapping video today. Usually I do try to keep my topics contained, but not always. I feel like this is one of those days where I already went through topics that I kind of wanted to go through on the first two videos for yapping, and from here on it's just fire from the hip. Ooh, maybe I should have done the hand first. Uh-oh. Okay. Kinda like that. Ah, jeez Louise. Why did I do that? Oh, whatever. We'll just get the basic shape of it, and that's good enough. Jeez Louise, why did I do that first? I should have done the hand first before I tried to do the rest. Whoops. Oh well. Well, that's what this practice is for. Just kind of getting the basic shape and idea down of the expression so that I capture it just fine. I feel like I need to do more of these sessions where I just do basic body shapes and kind of trace over and basically understand the shapes of these different pieces that I'm looking at. Eee, hold on. Am I missing a finger? Oh, not that one. Oh, I see. I'm just missing that one right there. Because it's hiding behind everything else. Oops. Anyway. But, yeah, pardon me. This is not exactly the most structured, casual chatting session of drawing that I've ever done. Honestly, it's the first. But I figured, you know, while I'm testing out my microphone, this would probably be a good way to kind of start off with the idea of me doing some kind of art practice while in a recording setting, pretty much. Either I do them from videos while I'm just chit-chatting about different topics, or I just maybe have one of those days where I decide I want to stream and I'll just put on some music on the side and I'll just stream me practicing for a little bit. Maybe for an hour or two, something like that. Not sure if any of my particular watchers might enjoy something like that, but just in case, I figure we start somewhere and see how I feel about it, let alone maybe how other people might feel about it. If the chat was actually... If I was streaming right this minute and I did have a chat up, I probably would at least be a fair bit more attentive this time around, because I'm not playing a game, I'm just casually, for all intents and purposes, I'm just casually drawing and just shooting the shit. Not much to say, minus the E. So the leg, cylinders, something like that. Bottom line is, I feel like compared to most other times when I try to stream and I awkwardly cannot completely keep track of the chat, I feel like in a drawing setting, I might actually be able to thoughtfully hold out conversations for a change, compared to how I do when I'm actually just playing a game and trying to awkwardly, especially since I play a lot of Toho games, awkwardly trying to keep track of chat while I'm trying to dodge for my life in different games. So cylinder as well. Something like that, huh? Alright, let's zoom out and have a look at that. It's been a very, very hectic April, hasn't it? If you happen to be a VTuber fan like myself, and just, you know, watch VTubers, whether they be major or smaller time VTubers, it has been a very, very chaotic, excuse me, it's been a very chaotic April, honestly. A lot of things have happened this month. I mean, it's not terrible. I'm getting it, it's not terrible. Why not? I guess we'll at least accentuate that. Collarbones would have been like right here-ish, I think. I'm understanding that. The collarbones would have been like right there-ish. Can't even see it due to the lines anyway, but hey, whatever. And then, of course, breasts are right over there on the chest. But I can't really emphasize it here since the arm is blocking, so you know what? I've done enough line overlap, that's good enough. Yeah. I mean, it ain't terrible. It ain't terrible, but I'm getting there. Because this would have been like the line here. I didn't do the full body in this screenshot because I wanted to just have at least maybe about a 2/3. I'm slowly working my way to a full body understanding. Earlier, when I first got back into this, I actually was taking screenshots of full bodies and just going from there, but I found that just kind of overwhelmed my head, so I'm slowly working my way down to an actual full body. So I figured, okay, screw it, we'll go with 2/3 of a full body, and then we'll work our way to being comfortable to practice drawing on a full set instead. Yeah. Not the worst. Not the best, but not the worst either. Everything in due time, right? As they say. I wonder. At the cost of... Actually, hold on, let me check. This is pretty short. Okay, we'll go for a little longer. I want to try to do a cleaner line. guess it's worth a try. I guess. Question is, will I actually be able to do a cleaner line set from here without the reference? I mean, we'll find out. That's the wrong size of the brush. There we go. I'm kind of trying to get used to drawing fairly large as well. So that is not even remotely close. Hold on. That's terrible already. Yeah, I don't outright know if my own viewers who like to listen to me yap might like watching me practice art as well. You gods. Might like watching me practice art as well, but again, I figured this might be good gracious. Oops. Need to do that. Goodness gracious. That's a good start, I think. To just kind of get a feel for how I'm progressing. Cheek's a little too fat. How's that going down? Okay. You know, I'm finding a bit of a dilemma here. I figured that this would be easier for me to you know, chat about some such topics while I'm drawing, but now that I'm in the thick of it, like, I can understand not being able to keep my talk topics in my head while I'm playing freaking Toho games because I'm too busy dodging for my life anyway. But while I'm drawing and focusing on it, it's... Now I'm feeling a little jarred because of it, because I'm like, oh, come on, dude, you're not dodging for your life in any game. You should be able to keep track of your own talk topics. My god, man. Oh well, can't be healthy. I'm trying to think. Let's see, we were talking a little bit about VTubers. Yeah, a lot has gone on. Now, I don't pay attention as much to major VTubers anymore, because I watch a lot of, well, smaller ones. Just smaller indies. You know, now that I think about it, I'd like to do some fan art of Randonuring at some point or another. But I'm just starting a little bit at a time. I guess I could probably use that character as a drawing reference when I start going on to bigger sized male characters as far as anatomy practice. I really need to get used to using the shortcuts on my tablet, or the undo button. But not this time. Not at the moment. Well, I'm trying not to overlap too much. But most notably, especially on Spear Hub, just a small group of like-minded, just VTuber fan friends that we all kind of share a Discord together and nerd out about video games and VTubers together all the time. It's been a rough month for them, I'm sure, because a good number of them are Hololive fans as well. And these recent graduations has probably got a good number of them down in the dumps, so I hope they're okay. I sure hope none of them watch my stuff, because I don't like showing. I don't like showing familiarity to even friendly faces that I actually spend time around. Oh well. Whether they do or not is none of my concern, honestly. But I do hope they're okay. I think I've hit that point in enjoying VTubers that graduations don't really affect me. Jeez. Graduations don't affect me quite as much as other people. So I just detach very easily. This is just safe to say. I think I might have said it before in one of my previous videos, in whichever... I think it might have been in one of my Yap videos, but I am a very, very pro-talent kind of person when it comes to being a fan of VTubers. So... Graduations don't really depress me quite as much as they would have previously. If only because I know the talent will be alright. At the end of the day, we're all human. And I have faith that these people who graduate from companies will be okay and hopefully take good care of themselves. At the end of the day, as long as the talents, whether you're a VTuber or some kind of content creator I've ever watched, in the long run over the course of my lifetime, I feel like I'll have just about the same result. Well, maybe not result, but the same opinion. As long as you're okay, you're doing well, just live your life safely, and you know what, that's good enough for me. I won't be too depressed about it. Now that I think about it, my tastes in content creators really has changed over the course of the years, but there are a few that I still like to watch. Let me think. I might have mentioned it before, but one of the first content creators I ever have actually, you know, I don't need to. What am I doing? I don't need to draw it that way. Well, one of the first content creators that I ever have watched was Proton John, and that was nice. Every now and then I'll pop into his streams on Twitch and just, you know, have a listen, watch, have a good laugh. In that respect, I also used to watch a lot of Runaway Guys as well. My, where do the years go? You know, I was in my high school years and a teenager back in those days, when the Runaway Guys was a new thing. But my, how the generations and the times pass. Here I am, feeling like an old man when I'm not actually an old man. To think the younger generations probably, as time goes on, won't quite understand what it is a lot of us are talking about when we go on and on about things that used to be relevant in our time frame when we grew up around certain kinds of content and content creators. It's also a good thing to, you really should just enjoy whatever you enjoy while you can. Nobody is forever after all. So, if there's anything about the VTuber graduations and the kinds of lessons people pass on, due to the fact that, you know, a lot of it gets adopted from idol culture. If there's anything I definitely do agree with, it's that, you know, enjoy the time you spend and enjoy the time you spend having fun watching your favorite content creators, or just people you like in general. Spend time with your loved ones, that sort of thing. Nobody's forever after all, so at some point or another, the world keeps on spinning and time goes on, people change. Such is the way of life. Myself included. Alright, I'm willing to concede. How did that come out? I know my lines... Honestly, you probably might have noticed that I did a lot of very wobbly ass lines throughout this, but my handling on my tablet has actually gotten a little bit better. Like, I don't feel quite as shaky anymore. But you know what, let's just hide the sketch layer and let's see how I did precisely. Just trying to go over, do a once over on the sketch layer. Alright. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. Like, honestly, you can kind of see the odd bits where I was a little bit wobbly while I was trying to go through it. Usually I'll use a G-Pen correction for cleaner lines, but I really wanted to just take tonight while I'm testing my microphone to just see how I'm doing with adjusting to handling a tablet pen. Honestly, I've gotten a fair bit better. When I compared this to one of the first times, like a month ago or so, when I came back to digital art, I did have to do a couple of tracing practices just to, you know, over some favorite artwork, just to practice and get some familiarity with digital again. And holy fuck, those lines were incredibly oh god. They were not good. They were very wobbly. The shape was there, but holy hell, they were wobbly as hell. So even me looking at just this, with how this has come out from just a short practice session, I can see that I've gotten a little bit better. So all things in due time, as they say. Oops, you probably heard my desk tray, my keyboard tray there. Sorry about that. I'm speaking like I'm streaming right now. What the hell? I'm not streaming, I'm recording. Anyway. Yeah, this has been a modestly kind of all over the place video. This is definitely just going to be a filler video to most people, so I don't mind it as much. As long as the audio, the spoken audio came out alright and I'm not hearing too much static, then I'll post this up anyway, just because. Now, I'm trying to think. You might be wondering, okay, well, okay, Sarah, so we see you practicing, but have you actually been working on anything? Yeah, I kind of have. In between tracing practices and body practices like this, just short sessions where I just do both of these. A basic body breakdown sketch, then a line layer on top of that. I have been trying to get started on a couple of other ideas that have popped into my head, and I'm at points where I'm stuck. So that's why when I do start a project, like let's take this one for example. I did this one about 2 days ago. And, you know, the layer, let's hide this for a bit. You can kind of see, if I were to hide this, that was the model that I had preset posed, angled, and then just went once over. I pretty much decided, okay, well, let's get the shape out. I think there's a character in my sketchbooks I wanted to try to redraw. But originally she had blunt bangs right over here. But due to the angle, that just looked completely wrong to me. And I'm like, okay, the whole blunt bangs thing. I like the blunt bangs kind of style for female characters especially. But with the way the hair flowed out from the shortened blunt bangs, it didn't feel right to me. So I ended up just practicing around, fiddling around with drawing the bangs until I settled with this. Now, for all intents and purposes, at least the line layer is done. But now that I've got to a point of, okay, well, now I should start detailing in and drafting the character's outfit, that's where I'm stuck, and that's why this is where it is. That's why this art is where it is, because I'm like, okay, I know I'm trying to go for a gremlin girl, like a Monster Girl Encyclopedia. I wanted to draft one just off the top of my head. Granted, the hair is definitely more straightened out and neat compared to your typical Monster Girl Encyclopedia gremlin girls. So I still need to do the ears, I still need to... Like, I'm trying to... In this exercise's case, I'm trying to, well, get used to not doing a frontal portrait. I'm very used to doing a frontal portrait like this, where it's just... I never ever do drawings or characters where they're turned in any other way except for just straight up front. So that's what a lot of these other just side drawings I'm doing just for the sake of I need to break my, again, same thing, I'm breaking the mold from what I'm used to. So now I suddenly have to think about these things from a different angle instead, and just thoughtfully learn as I go. But that's where I stopped over here, because I'm all, okay, well, where do I go from here with detailing? Maybe I'm thinking too much, so I just take a break and I practice somewhere else, basically. Could probably leave that there. Oh yeah, I also had a sketch reference for Dr. Nova as well, but that's for later. So, I know eventually I want to go back to this and just go back to detailing, just for the fun of it. See if I can keep practicing. Now, I'm not going to show this one right here, because that is a VTuber fan art for a female VTuber I do like to watch, but I'd rather not show it because I know that particular VTuber likes to be a little bit nosy. And since they know I frequent their chat and hang out a little bit in their community, there's no way in hell I'm going to expose myself. So, sorry guys, you're not going to see that one. But I'm closer to done with this one right here than I am with this one. But, that being said, I'd say this video of yapping has gone on long enough, and I've said a whole bunch of, well, something or nothing. So, if anything, till then, this is Seraph Tears. I'll see you guys next time, and let me know what you guys think about this format of yapping videos. Do you like the idea of me just doing a little bit of art drawing while I'm yapping about specific topics? Or would you still prefer the me playing a video game in the background while I yap about a particular topic? I feel like it'll just be a little bit of both for me. So, I don't know, I kinda like it, but I feel like I won't do too much of this because, well, if I'm gonna show something on video or on stream, I'd like to either just relax and chill, or at least have something substantial that I could show you guys as far as, well, illustration practice, or just drawing skill practice goes. Like, hey, would you look at that? I actually improved. But, yeah, well, let me know if anything. But until then, this is Seraph. I'll, see you guys in the next video, whichever one it happens to be. Oof. I hope you can hear that, because I'm not gonna say that again. See you next time. You have a good day.